Each and every animal on this planet deserves to be here as much as you and I. It all started when I was 13 years old, and I love animals for as long as I can remember. One fine day, I went to my dad, asking him if I can get a puppy. And his reply, I was too young for the responsibility. Little did he knew that I was all ready to become a dad. However, a few days later, I was walking down a street, and I found a little four-legged, fluffy creature lying beside a pathway who was in grave danger of being run over by vehicles. I inquired around, and a shopkeeper nearby told me that somebody came in car, threw this puppy off, and never returned back. This little thing was surviving there without protection or food to eat. Why would you do that to a defenseless, innocent creature who feels pain just as you and I? In the very moment, I was happy that I found him. And the next few days, I could only describe as the most beautiful days of my life. We would eat together, play together, sleep together, and whatnot. However, this little creature, I started to call him Casanova now, suddenly falls sick and stops eating completely. I rushed him to a vet, and the vet told me that my little child has something serious and I should be strong. The very next morning, feeling uneasy, I woke up around 4 a.m. and found Casanova lying near my legs. I called him out and he didn't respond yet. I called him out again and he didn't respond yet. My little baby was no more. I was taken back, and later I figured out from my dad that he was suffering from an infection called parvobacteria and was in the last stages and was probably abandoned for the very same reason. My mind had to process. The world I thought to be so perfect and amazing didn't feel that anymore. A curious teenage heartbroken dad wanted to know why his first child had to suffer in pain and die as if his life was never important. I started researching more and more about animal cruelty, and I found that every year over 52 billion animals are killed for food. Another 200 million animals are hunted down. 100 million animals give their lives in laboratories for experimentation. 40 million animals are killed for their fur. 6 to 4 million animals die every year just due to abandonment. And mind you, these numbers are from the registered slaughterhouses, laboratories, and pets which were found. My mind had to process, and after knowing what I knew now, I could no longer feel in peace when I know that there are animals being brutalized, or I could no longer feel full when I know that they're being starved, or I could no longer feel warm when I know that they're kept in tiny, small cages. I could no longer feel heard when I know that they are voiceless. I knew that I had no choice left in the matter, and I started volunteering for different organizations in Hyderabad, and I soon realized that there was no rehabilitation center for abandoned and abused animals in Hyderabad. And that led to the formation of my organization, A Place to Bark. I was 16 when I started my organization. I rented a small place near my home and started running a shelter for abandoned and abused dogs. And for next 2 years, we saved hundreds and hundreds of animals and successfully rehomed them. However, I joined my engineering college to pursue my bachelor degree in computer science. And the next few months, I could only describe as the most scariest days of my life. I would come back home from college at 6 p.m. and then rush to my shelter. Managing studies and shelter took a toll on me. My grades were coming down and the shelter wasn't running at its best. One blessed morning, I was in my college bus on the way to my college, passing by my shelter. Looking at my shelter, I wished how great it would be if I could take you along. In the very moment, I knew what I have to do. But the life have given me this harder choice to choose between my passion or studies, and I honestly didn't want to give up on both. So I shared my idea with the world that I want to open a shelter inside my college campus for animals. कहते हैं ना कि अगर किसी चीज़ को दिल से चाहो तो सारी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. I was bombarded with questions asking if I was out of my mind. People questioned me, do you want to spread infections in college? No, I want to spread kindness. Animals traveling in college bus, are you out of your mind? No, I want them to learn the essence of coexistence. Students will be completely distracted from studies. We bet. You will rather find them completing their assignments in time. What do you think parents would think about this? Seeing the positive result the shelter brought, parents actually sponsored a pool for the animals at the shelter. So I didn't give on my studies or my passion, but made my college the world's first animal-friendly educational institution. And how this happened? I went to my college chairman and didn't ask him for one-time donation of a piece of land. I rather made him understand that he was powerful enough to make a difference in the life of these voiceless animals. I wanted to make him realize that his heart was empathetic enough to listen to the cries of these animals. And let me tell you, activating the sense of activism does wonders. I was successfully able to create a self-governing, self-sustaining system in my college where students from all years and branches took care of animals at the college shelter and helped us save over thousands of animals in the journey. And it have impacted the lives of the students in the ways I never imagined. In a survey conducted, students told that they were able to concentrate more just by spending free time with animals at the shelter. Some of the students felt so empowered for the very first time in their life. They felt that their existence mattered. Other students wanted to raise their voice for different causes they believe in. And that led to the formation of social entrepreneurship cell inside my college. And now we are training over 25 amazing young kids to stand up strong for what they believe in. I graduated 3 months before from my college. And this year, my college have provided a scholarship worth 4 lakh rupees and a free engineering seat to an animal rights activist who will now take over this shelter. In this journey of 9 years as an animal rights activist, we have saved over 3,800 plus animals and have rehomed them in amazing families. Here are some of the stories that are close to my heart. Meet Moonshine. Moonshine was thrown near a garbage bin to fend for himself. We rescued him and rushed him to a vet, and he had multiple skin disorders, a million ticks, and was a monotesticle case. 4 months of love, care, and a lot of surgeries made him fit again, and he was adopted by an amazing family. Meet Moonshine now. These two beautiful ladies are Sunshine and Stardust. They are an end product of an illegal breeder. These girls were paralyzed because of inbreeding. Whenever you go out there and buy a pet from an unregistered breeder or an unregistered pet shop, you support this cruelty. They were supposed to be euthanized. We were in time, and we saved them. They were in a position where they didn't even stand. After months of physiotherapy, from not being able to stand, now they not only stand, walk, run, but can also chase you down. Sunshine was adopted by an amazing army family and is living her best life. And Stardust was adopted by a girl who is affected with polio, and they felt the instant connection. People often question me what love and empathy can do. This is what love and empathy can actually do. But with the growing cruelty that is happening and the inhuman ways that we are treating animals, the recent incidents where animals are being burned alive, they're being raped, they're being thrown from buildings and whatnot. The army dogs, once they are unfit, are euthanized. When you go and report animal cruelty, the police department doesn't have a place to keep animals once they're confiscated. And our laws were made in 1960. And it says anybody can kill an animal and get away paying a fine of 50 rupees. They were never revised. Studies find a clear link between people who abuse animals and they committing violent crime. People who abuse animals and are left unpunished are 5 times more likely to commit violent crimes. Study shows that 89% of cases where a woman was in an abusive relationship, their pets were being abused too. 88% of homes where child abuse were being investigated, the family pets were being abused too. 43% of students who have committed school massacres were found to be animal abusers too. I knew that there's still so much to do, and that led to the formation of Telangana's biggest animal sanctuary and one of its kind in the world. And this place is supposed to be inaugurated in next 4 days. The sanctuary will not only act as a rehabilitation center for abandoned dogs, cats, birds, larger animals, but will also act as an educational institution to educate people on animal rights and social entrepreneurship. We shall also be rehabilitating the army dogs once they are declared unfit, because let me tell you, no national hero deserves a pathetic death by euthanasia. A collaboration with the police department is also in process of making sure that once the animal is confiscated, they can be kept in our sanctuary till the court's hearing. Our sanctuary will have facilities where animals will never be caged. They will have 24 access to a lush green garden, a swimming pool, and a play area. Each enclosure will have a cooler and a heater to make sure that the temperature is just right. Abuse they go through, they deserve all of this luxury. We have also collaborated with various schools and colleges across the country, and so far have covered over 86 institutions on spreading awareness and making students understand the essence of coexistence. My life journey have also been considered and taken as a syllabus in schools across 2 countries, impacting over 285,000 students. We also carry different events like adoption drives and fashion shows to make sure that we educate public in the best possible ways. I was 13 when I found my calling. I was 16 when I started running a shelter. I'm 22 years old now, and I'm standing in front of the world, speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves. To every young kid out there, let me tell you this. You don't have to be as old as 13 to stand strong for what you believe in and to make a dent in the world. And to each one of you sitting here, all of you can make a difference. We can all change this world. We all have a voice, and we can together make this earth a better place. For me, I promise I would never rest until every cage is empty and until every tank is drained. Thank you so much.